Well, yesterday, KCCFC announced the signing of 19-year-old Faizo Waviona. He is one of those players joining the long list of teenagers that have been introduced into this great club, and they go on to become great players. I know that's a discussion that is up for debate, but let's hear what Faizo Waviona had to say in his first exclusive interview with the KCCFC media team.
My name is Waviona Faizo. I'm a midfielder. I'm very happy to join KCC Football Club because it's one of the biggest team in Uganda. I was very happy to get to play my first debut in Burundi because even my family was also happy. It was my dream to play in this club one day. Coach Mulebekwaso is now my coach because I was with him on the national team under 20. I feel good to be with him. It was easy for me to choose KCC Football Club because it was one of my dreams to play in KCC. I have many friends like Juma Ibrahim, Mugume Fadiga, Magambo Peter. They will help me to settle in this club. The fans, what they will expect from me, I'll make more assists so that we get more goals to get more trophies at this club.
Well, looking young and innocent, Shaban, you laughed when I said he joins a long list of teenagers who have joined the club and they have turned out to be great players. Do you want me to defend the statement?
No. What stands out for me in that statement is the fact that you already think he's going to be great.
No, I said he joins a long list.
Who have turned out to be great.
So I didn't say he is going to.
Oh, okay, maybe I took the wrong perspective of it, but I think it's an exciting signing because so many people have been speaking about, especially those that have followed.
A product of the big talent soccer academy owned by Eddie Kenzo.
And then he has roots in Bright Stars, and when you look at some of the players that have come up from Bright Stars of recent, there have been some decent players, and the fact that he was with the national team, despite the fact that he didn't get enough minutes, that is in the AFCON under 20, I think it speaks volumes of what so many people expect of him in the near future, and him joining KCCA, I think is the best move for him at the moment, because KCCA, despite the fact that last season, it was not easy to get into a team, especially if you're a youth. And we only saw that at the end of the season. But predominantly over the past few years, they're a side that have given youth chance. So you would expect him to get some chance in there.
Shaban,
and I like the fact that...
Not in the past 5 years. It is tradition.
Because
when you even follow from back in the day, Jackson Mayanja, Sam Simbwa, those guys now joined KCCFC as teenagers. Mori Biekwas was a senior 2 student when he made his KCCFC debut. The same as Beka Mbowa. People who were there in the 70s will tell you the Tom Rangas, the Philip Omondis, all those other guys joined the team as schoolboys. So when you hear fans today saying, but they ought to know that traditionally, and now AC Villa was the opposite. They would wait for these boys to turn into good players, and they would come and poach them. So it is something that has been there traditionally. They are just gone off it, but looks like now, when Mike came in, they noticed that now we have to go back and do what we used to do from back in the day because it used to work for them. And
when you document that philosophy, I think I don't have to add so much to the fact that probably he's joining the best club in terms of looking for a place where you're going to get opportunities to try and exhibit what you can do with the ball. So I think for him it's a good move, but now the onus moves back to him and the coach. For the coach, you ensure that probably he gets that time that he requires on the pitch, and for him, he has to ensure that when given the opportunity, he can show us that he's ready to be the player that KCCA signed at the moment, because they're signing a prospect at the moment, but if you are that good, and then you get to exhibit that on the football pitch, I think you are going to get playing time. I don't know so much about him. I've barely watched him play, but like I mentioned, people speak highly of the kid, and now KCC seem to be taking the direction that we all expected them to take when Molebi Kwaso took over. But ironically, he signed experienced players in his first season. Now he's taking another route, despite the fact that his first signing was
experienced
Moses
players
Wise.
who let him down.
I know. Experienced players who literally let him down. He finished second. Second may be good, but when you finish 18 points behind the winner,
it's not good for KCC.
Oh, but of course, KCC has previously been finishing second.
Yeah, but it's not good.
For me, it's the 18 points that tell the whole story.
The gap between second and first.
Absolutely. And now he seems to be taking another route, despite the fact that he brings in Moses Waiswa. But we all know that probably Moses Waiswa is coming in for his team to evolve around him. And now, if you are settling for youth, that means he's planning for a project that is of 3 to 5 years, which is good for KCC, because that is a project that has seen them become one of the best teams on the continent in the past couple of years. And if someone just comes in and throws it out of the picture, you would wonder if they know what they are doing. But for Faizo Wabiona, I think the sky is the limit. If he's watching us at the moment, now the onus is on you. You go out there. You do what people expect of you, and probably you turn out into the player that so many people anticipate you.
One of the teachers at Chiburi SS, where this boy goes, when he saw that story on Football 256, he came to my inbox and told me in Uganda, so there is also that bit. So when these boys sign these pro contracts for these big clubs, especially when they are still in school, they forget about school.
And which is sad, because in the past, what football has taught everyone is that you are going to play football in Uganda until some point, and then you will need to get into something else. Maybe that trend is slowly changing, but there are no guarantees that if you stick to only football, you are going to turn out into the person that are probably your parents and everyone who looks at you wants you to be. And he has to go back to school. At least you first go back, then study up to your senior 6. You can rest for a while, then go play football. If you accumulate the money that can take you to university, then that is good. You can juggle football with university like the defender did. Peter Magambo. I'm so impressed with him, and that is why he's a role model to so many people at that club. And
is he?
Oh, trust me. I was speaking to some of the kids. I think. They must have been playing for the KCC junior team before the setup was there. And everyone, they were speaking and saying that I want to be like Magamba, I want to study and then play football. So he's a role model to some people at that club. And if you can attain that, I think you are in a better place. Because Magambo, despite of what happens in football, he can venture into something else. And you know, traditionally in Uganda, people have played football. Some of them have been the best in their positions, and somehow we can't find them anywhere.
I was going to tell a story, but then it would be emotional, so I'll leave it. When you talk about players who have been great, and there was that picture of Issa Sekatawa that was moving around, and it just didn't inspire.
I think I looked at it for like 2 minutes, and I couldn't believe the stories we had of Issa Sekatawa and where he is at the moment.
Goals are my business. But of course, moving on, the 21st of January in Morocco will be the day for the CAF Awards. They get to return since 2019 when Sadio Mane got to win the award. Of course, different nomination lists were revealed yesterday, but for me the big one of them all is the CAF Player of the Year. Of course, you have about 30 plus players on the nomination list. We shall only need 3 on the final day, but of course it is Sadio Mane and his Senegalese teammates that are predominantly dominating the shortlist. And
without a surprise, because they are the reigning African champions, and this is a team that has progressed to the World Cup, and you would think that they would have a junk of...
Yeah, but if you were to pick your top 3, of course Sadio Mane will be one of them, but who else would be in your top 3?
My top 3 would have Sadio Mane, Riyad Mahrez, and Mohamed Salah. I wouldn't change it. Honestly, because everything, the other 2 have achieved more on club level. as compared to their national team. And then Sadio Mane overall, club level, and then moving back to the continent, they have won the African Cup, like I mentioned, and his team are in the World Cup. He's the outright favorite to win it, but like you had mentioned, my top three would be Riyad Mahrez, Mohamed Salah, and Sadio Mane.
Well, we could look at the other nominees, of course, as Eman's also guest join us. I'm sure he would want to have a thing or two to say, especially on the bit of his top three. Of course, at the club of the other nominees, ES Setif, Petro Atletico, TP Mazembe, Al Ahly Tripoli, you have Al Ittihad, Raja Casablanca, RS Berkane, Wydad, and Orlando Pirates. This one always goes to the team that has won the Champions League.
Absolutely.
So,
Wydad.
So chances are that it's most likely to be Wydad, Casablanca to nick this
and
one.
No one can have arguments there because they have won the CAF Champions League. That means they are the best team on the continent. There are no arguments, although I think there are some other sides that have made good strides this season, like Al Ahly Tripoli. I think they were in the semi-finals of
Yeah, semi-final doesn't count.
And then I know it doesn't count.
I only has to look at the team. The country should have been the team or country of the year. The
national
award,
team of the year.
Yeah, national team of the year. The award that Uganda won in 2016, the same year. Denso Nyango was winning the African Football of the Year, best in Africa. But of course, these are the Interclub Player of the Year. But this is the same award that Onyango won in 2016. It just changed. It actually rebranded back to the original name. So these were some of the players that were outstanding in the CAF competitions in that year. And of course, one of them will be voted as the Interclub Player of the Year. Then the coaches, of course, I still don't know what Carlos Queiroz is doing in there, probably for guiding Egypt to the finals. But then you have Florent Ibenge. He won the CAF Confederations Cup.
Florent Ibenge, TP Mazembe.
No. I forget the team he was coaching, but he won the CAF Confederations Cup. Then you have Pitso Mosimane. If he had won it, for me, if he had won the Champions League, it should have been a big. He would have had a big shot. But then you have Aliou Cisse. The last time the awards were organized, the Algerian head coach, I forget the name, he actually got to win it. So chances are that Cisse, having won that Africa Cup of Nations with so many years of trying, he's also the outright.
And you'd think his only competition in there is Kamel Melo, but of course if Cisse wins it, no one is going to argue because he led his team to
Kamel had a good outing with Burkina Faso.
I know.
But still the fact that you don't have silverware.
And somehow I feel that Senegal are going to be probably going to be named the national team of the year, but for me Burkina Faso, they have been magnificent.
Yeah. Of course, these are the teams: Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Comoros. They were outstanding in that Africa Cup of Nations. Egypt, Equatorial Guinea, the Gambia. They were also very outstanding. Mali, Morocco, Senegal, Tunisia. And for me, like you've said,
for me, I think I like Burkina Faso better, but Senegal probably are going to win it. And, okay. I think it will be the first time Senegal wins it and over a decade, if I'm not mistaken. Because I remember the last time there were, it must have been 2004, if I'm not 2002, 2004.
When they reached the final, 2002.
Yeah, when 2002. Yeah, when they reached the final, and they've been yearning probably for it. And if they win it, there's not big of an argument. But when you look at what Burkina Faso have done, I think.
Well, Uganda won it. I still don't know why we did. I would have loved to.
maybe if Comoros or Gambia win it, they would have won it.
Of course, we'll also have the women's categories nominees announced on July 5th. I would have loved to have the announcement coming after the Women Africa Cup.
Even me, that is what I thought.
Maybe we would have stood a chance. We would have at least had a player or two from the Crescent Cranes. I'm not saying it's too late, but if the nominees were coming out after the Women Africa Cup of Nations.
Do you know why I say it is too late? There are so many out there who have impressed in Europe. So they're going to first look at those ones.
Mine would simply be Mo Salah and Sadio Mane, as well as Riyad Mahrez. When you look at the achievements that they've had, I think Sadio Mane just edges the two. But the two have really been playing at the highest level that you can think of. And I would not be surprised if Sadio Mane ran away with this one.
Well, but of course, staying with you, you're in Kigali, Rwanda, of course, covering the 2023 FIBA World Cup qualifiers. For starters, How is the mood like? You arrived, should have been here yesterday morning. You've walked around and all that. How is the mood in Rwanda? Of course, coming out from the Chagam Summit, now going into these World Cup qualifiers.
The mood is right. You can say this country knows what it means to organize events. When you get to the entrance, you just tell that there's serious business going to take place, and the mood is right. Of course, you remember the home country, Rwanda, also their first games that were played in the first window to Cameroon, South Sudan, and Tunisia. They're almost out of this one, but they'll be looking to try and use the home crowd. There's a bit of excitement on the Rwandan side. Aristide Mugabe, their former captain, announced his retirement yesterday after, of course, he was snapped. He did not make the team that is going to play here, but was part of the team that played in the first round. In the Rwandan camp, you'd say the excitement is there. Everyone thinks they have a chance because they are playing at home, but they are coming up against a very tough opposition in South Sudan, a team that has been emerging in the last 2 years. Then you have Cameroon, also another tough team in Africa, and Tunisia, of course, are the champions of Africa. So it's very tough. But overall, you would say that Rwanda is ready for this, and we're looking forward to the tournament. As Uganda, of course, our attention is on another group that has Cape Verde, Nigeria, as well as Mali that we start with today. And we must beat Mali. We should be able to beat Cape Verde if we want to progress to the next round. In the first round, we only managed one win. If we do not add to that, it might not be enough for us to go to the next round of qualifiers.
Well, of course, looking at the game going on at the moment in the arena, Nigeria taking on Cape Verde. Halftime, Nigeria are leading 39-26. Uganda will be coming at 4 p.m. against Mali. But what's the latest in camp? From what we were gathering yesterday, Adam Seiko wasn't yet part of the team. Has he arrived in camp? If not yet, when should he be expected?
He's not coming. That's what I can tell you. And like I mentioned yesterday, the Federation has been tight-lipped on why exactly he's not part of the camp. But at least this morning I confirmed that he will not be flying to Kigali, so he will not be playing here. We can only have him if the team progresses to the next round of qualifiers. So at least what I can confirm is that Adam Seiko will not be playing today, tomorrow, or even Sunday. He's not going to be coming. Luckily, Uganda had put out a team of 13 players.
Exactly, that's what I wanted to ask. Did they know prior, when you talk about we had already summoned 13 players, did they know, because you needed 12 for the tournament, did they know prior that he wasn't going to come or what?
No, I think they tried to give a chance to Ivan Muhwezi, who is a young player and probably think he should be a big part of the team going forward. So they were, and of course the numbers, because the arrivals in camp were going to be at different intervals. People were coming in a day after another or something like that. So they needed their numbers in camp. And you could see that at the start of the camp in Egypt, there are only 6 players. And Ivan Muhwezi was actually very helpful because he took part in that training and was able to give us the numbers that you need. But I think it's a positive that he gets a chance to play at this level. And we can only wait and see what he contributes and the kind of player he will be after getting a chance to play here.
And have you engaged with our national team from the time you have been there? And if you have, what is the mood like ahead of that game against Mali?
I can tell you that the team is excited and ready for the challenge. Of course, it's going to be very tough. I've not had a lot of time with the team because we are staying in different places. But I can tell the mood is right. The team had a friendly against South Sudan on Wednesday. They were able to win by 3 points. And that was their first win going into this camp. I think some people are a bit worried after losing those 3 friendlies in Egypt. But I think if they needed something to uplift their spirits, that win over South Sudan, in which they shot the ball really well, should have given them the courage going into today's game. They will need to shoot the ball, and we have to score more, because I think I hinted before coming here that you're not going to win a game here if you score in 45 points like we did against Rwanda in our first friendly. So I think that has since improved, and looking forward to the first game. I think the first game is going to be the most important for us, because we've lost to Mali on 3 occasions, and all these occasions, Mali have not even had to be playing at their best, but somehow they've managed to beat us. So we've got to correct that score and make sure we get a win. Then you do not have any pressure going into the game against Cape Verde tomorrow. The game against Nigeria is going to be very tough. It should be our toughest, and you help yourselves by winning the first two.
And Manzi, now without Seiko, who are the 2 guards that are going to start? Who do you think are going to start?
Give us your starting 5, your preferred starting 5.
Well, you do not have Adam Seiko if you are to go by, because Coach George is back, and if you are to go by his team from the previous engagement he had, which was the AfroBasket, you had Jimmy Enabu starting, Adam Seiko at number 2, you had Asa Karuma, you had Ishmael Wainwright and Deng Gale. So if you take out, Adam, his substitute then was Tony Bridema. So we can only wait and see if there will be changes, because we have Emmanuel Mugenga coming back into the team. We can play 2-3. We have Robinson Opong in there. So I think the replacements are there that can take us forward. If you look at those positions, I think if you see Robinson Opong was one of our best players from the previous round, then Tony Drileba, before Adam came, was a starter in the national team. So those 2, Opong and Tony, I think one of them should be able to come in. But if Mugenga is selected, I think he is a good option.
Then with Komagum in camp, very many people are speaking highly of him. How do you juggle or rotate the players who are supposed to play in the paint?
I don't expect big changes. If you still have Arthur Karuma, Ishmael Wainwright, and Deng Gale, then of course you have James Okera and Komagum, who I expect to be coming off the bench. I think those 2 would be big additions for our front court. And you have 5 players that you think can easily. It's going to be a tough tournament, because if you're going to play against Cape Verde that you've seen Tavares is here, he's going to need some people really trying to do some work on him, because he will put us in foul trouble, and it helps if you have a big game. So I think Komagum is a big addition. We welcome any big addition that comes into our team, because naturally we are not a very big team. We are. I think he gives us the rim protection that we need. He gives us the rebounding power you need in that paint. And I guess he'll be getting minutes off the bench. I'm looking forward to seeing him on the floor.
Then, Emanzi, as we let you go slightly about the Cape Verde game, I'm seeing they are starting 5, and it has 2 Tavares. Is the actual Tavares on the team, or these are people just here who share a name with him?
To your disappointment, Walter Tavares is here. Wearing shirt number 22, if you get the chance to watch the game, he's here. And you'll say the entire Cape Verde team is here, with the team that was here for AfroBasket. I think you got to be ready as Uganda. If you expect to survive, Walter Tavares is here.
And while you are saying that, Shaban whispered here, 2 a day. But of course, we will let you go back, enjoy the game. Hopefully, we catch up with you again next week. But once again, happy birthday, Sebo.
Thank you so much, guys, and see you soon. I'll be back soon.
Okay. Inshallah.
Of course.
And, the reason why I said 2 a day, I think he's the best big man on the continent. And looking at him trying to penetrate
we
the
have tried to get some size and height on our end. The other time it was only James Okelo. It was only James because I think Dengel fouled out. So James Okelo had to deal with this.
And he did a good job, because such players, you can't stop them, but you can only slow them down. And he did a good job trying to slow him down. Although at the end of the day, I think Tavares, like everyone expected, he prevailed. prevailed, and now the task against Cape Verde gets a whole lot tougher for us, but hopefully we can get the win against Mali. For me, I insist Mali is the opposition we are supposed to be beating up on, and if we don't beat up on them today, I'm afraid we may come back here on Monday and we have lost all 3 games.
Yes, as we get out of here, this is a message. It is a Senegal Richard who is watching the show from Nachibi's in Injeru. He wants you to talk about Mike Mutebi's transfer to SC Villa. Will it be possible?
I don't think it's going to come to light. Yeah, I don't think it's going to come to life because Mike Mutebi cannot go in the mess that is currently at Villa. I doubt he's someone who can.
It depends on who's talking to him.
I just doubt Clive because there's too much mess at Villa, and for a person Mike Mutebi is, I don't see him going there.
Mike Mutebi being supervised by Dan Muwiru and
do you see that happening? It's not going to happen, my brother. It's not going to happen.
Then Tribe Amanya says about the CAF nominations, somehow I feel Senegal are probably going to be named the national team of the year. But to me, Burkina Faso, they have been magnificent.
I think everyone...
Comoros, Gambia,
Gambia,
all those teams.
And if Gambia and Comoros win it, that is the same fashion Uganda won it in 2017.
What did we do?
No, going to the qualifying to the AFCON against all odds, if you may suggest. And then, okay, we didn't play any football at AFCON, but just going there.
We played street football.
We played sweet football, I guess.
That's all the time we had for you today on the show. Just to confirm, on Monday, we shall be having the CEO of the Uganda Cricket Association, the new CEO, Alan Mugume, live in studio with us. But of course, I wish you a blessed weekend. It is full of action. Just go out there and enjoy your sporting activities. From Clive, Shaban, then Adrian, Dennis, Lovey, Gerard, Milford, have a blessed weekend.